Hey Travis kiddos, happy Wednesday. Still continuing my purple for Purple Up, or Month of the Military Child. Purple Up Day is April 15th, so we'll definitely be wearing our purple then. I want to go over some math stuff with you. I have some review of addition and subtract. Let's focus on addition today. With regrouping, we'll do subtraction tomorrow. So addition with regrouping review, and then going over the work, which is continuing on chapter 16. So I have offered for you guys, or assigned, I don't know what we're saying these days, to do the workbook pages 143 to 144. That's also textbook pages through Launchpad and Think Central. Textbook pages 190 to 192. So you can access those to either get ready for these workbook pages or just do that, or you can do this first and then the textbook. Anything you would like to do in a combination of that is great. So you're going to match the number to the number word. So read carefully, draw a line to match. And then you're going to find the missing numbers. So 60 and 4 make. So and is like a plus and make is kind of like an equal. So 60 plus 4 equals. So 60 is the tens, 4 is the ones. Put them together, you get 64. 5 and 100, same thing. They're just doing the ones first, and then the tens, it's like 10 tens or 100. So put those together. Then you're going to have to find the missing tens or ones. So 50 and blank make 53. So they already have the 50. Think about what's missing, okay? Blank and 8 make 108. So they have the 8. Think about what's missing, okay? Then they have some addition sentences below. Figure out what's missing and put it in. On the back, we have estimation. Now, estimation is a new skill and it's a little bit tricky. So I suggest you do look at the textbook pages for that to give you a little bit of a heads up, but I'll do one of these for you here. So we're going to circle a group of 10 and then estimate how many stars there are. So I'm going to count out 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And then I'm going to circle them. So this is one group of 10 here. Now, they have them kind of nicely organized, which often when you're estimating things aren't as organized as this. But I can see if this is 10, it kind of looks like there are maybe 4 more 10s. So, and a little bit more. So I would estimate it's about 40. Maybe a little bit more, but I'm going to estimate it's about 50, I'm sorry. I forgot my 10 I already had. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? So I'm going to guess it's about 50. I'm going to let you count exactly how many there are. It's a lot to count, so I recommend doing a tick mark for each one. So we already know this is 10 and counting on from there. So 11, I don't know if you can tell my little tick there. 12, 13, 14, etc. So go ahead and count all of them. Do the same with the stars. Circle a group of 10 and estimate about how much it is. I'm estimating to the tens because that's a nice rough estimate. If you want to go for a specific number, you can. But it shouldn't be... You don't always have to get exactly the right number, and you don't always have to guess exactly something in the ones place. So I just like to estimate about how many tens. Okay, so that's it for the math work for the day, except I'd also love for you to play Race to 100. So we've played Race to 20 and Race to 40 a lot. And we usually use the base 10 blocks at school, which I know you probably don't have at home. So find something. I've assigned it in homework, and I know other people have too. So I know you can find something at home to use. So maybe you have chocolate chips and pretzel sticks. Maybe you have buttons and pencils. So remember, something that symbolizes a 1 and something that symbolizes a 10. Ideally, the ones would be about 10 of those make up a 10, but you guys get creative at home, use what you can. I know we don't always have access to everything that we would like to at home, especially right now. So Race to 100, find a number cube or some kind of dice or something. You roll it, get that many ones. roll and take turns. If you're playing with a partner, roll again, get that many ones. Each time you have 10 ones or more, you trade 10 ones for a 10, right? So you could even draw pictures of this too if you want. So you could draw the sticks and dots as you roll the dice. If you can't find, or die, I should say, if you can't find objects to use at home, you could draw a picture and do your sticks and dots that way. But try to practice regrouping every time you have 10 or more, but only trade 10 ones for a 10. No more, no less. Otherwise, it's not a fair trade. So play Race to 100. If you want to go even further, you can. Totally up to you. But play that game with someone if you can, on your own if you have to. But get some good practice with that. And you can keep practicing counting as well. Obviously, you'll be doing some counting while you play. But if you want to practice counting by ones, fives, tens, and even twos, go for it. All right, let's review addition with regrouping. So I'm going to go a little bit higher than we have been. So prefacing us for the next chapter, chapter 17. So I'm going to start with 48 plus 7. Okay? So 48 plus 7, or 48 and 7 make, if you would like to use the vocabulary from the workbook page. So 47 plus 8. I can show this in a lot of different ways to try to figure it out. So let's do some of those. I'm going to start with number bonds. So I'm going to split up 48 into the tens and ones. So I'm going to do 40, which is the tens. Remember, it's not just 4. That's 4 tens. It's in the tens place. It symbolizes 40. Or 4 tens, not just 4, okay? And 8 ones. So 40 and 8, and I need to add 7. So since I have, I'm adding ones, I'm going to put my ones with my ones. So I'm going to do 8 plus 7. Now this is a doubles plus 1 fact, so maybe you already know it. You could also make a 10. So I'm going to do that. So 7, I know this is splitting it up a lot, but these are some mental processes that hopefully you're already working on and doing automatically. I'm just showing all the steps. So I'm going to split 7 up. I have 8, so I know I need 2 more to make a 10. So here, if I split 7 up into 2, and the other part would be 5. So 7, split it up into 2 and 5. So I'm going to add my 8 and 2 together to make 10. So 8 plus 2 equals 10. Then I have 5 left over. So then I have 10 plus 5 equals 15. So 8 plus 7 equals 15. Now, like I said, maybe you know it's a doubles plus 1 fact, so double 7. 7 plus 7 is 14. One more, since 8 is 1 more than 7, would be 15. Okay, so now I have 15 and I need to add it with my 40. Now again, I can do this one of 2 ways. I can split this up into the tens and ones, 10 and 5. I can add 40 plus 10 equals 50. And then I can add the ones back in. So 50 plus 5 equals 55. Or you could do 40 plus 15 if you're able to work through that without having to do too much extra work in terms of pictures and number bonds and drawing and all that, or using objects. So I think splitting it up to focus on the tens and ones, since we're already working on that skill, it's another one to add in there. So if 50 plus 5 is 55, 48 plus 7 is 55. Now, I'm going to show you another way to do this with number bonds that is different than this, okay? And I don't know if we got to this one before. We have done it when we're just adding ones, but I'm going to show you this way. So 48 plus 7. Now 48 is close to rounding to a 10, right? So 48 is close to 50, but I'm going to think about how many more I would need to get there. Okay, now I already split this up before to get a 10 here, so let's see if I can make another 10. So 8 plus 2 is going to make a 10, right? So if I split this up into 2 and 5 again, I'm going to make 48 plus 2. I'm just going to add 2 more to get to the next number. So if 8 plus 2 is 10, and I have 40, 40 plus 10, that's kind of what we were doing here, right? Is going to be 50. So 50 plus 5 more is 5. 55. So making a 10 here, I know that doesn't quite make the most sense if I'm not showing all of the work, but it's kind of like doing this, but just taking out the step of showing all of this. So that's another way to do it. A third way to do it, when we practiced our mental math, is kind of doing the same thing but in your head. So just focusing on the ones. So tens, take a break. Add 8 plus 7, which we already figured out. If you know that in your head already, you can do that, is 15. And then add the tens back in, right? So 15, but then I have to add 40 in. I still get to 55. So a few different ways to do it mentally. I'm going to keep going with this number sentence, but show you the other ways to do it, okay? So we have 48. I'm going to show you sticks and dots this time. So 4 tens is 40 plus 8 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I line them up so that it's like a 10 frame so that I know when I fill that up, I have a 10. So 48 plus 7. So I'm going to show 7 squares here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now I have a 10 here, 10 ones. So that is the same as 4 tens and 5 ones. Same thing, right? Same answer, 55. Now another way you could draw this, I know I'm showing you a lot of ways for the same problem, but whatever works for you is great, and you can practice all of these with different numbers. You can practice all the strategies. You can practice the one that works for you. You might come up with a new strategy. I don't know. So another way you could draw this is 48 plus 7 more. Because sometimes when we're doing this, we get a little bit confused, and I might do 1, 2, 3, 4 and see, oh, it looks like there's a 7 there because we know 5 and 2 would be 7. So you have to be really careful when you're adding things on here. So if that gets too confusing, you can do it this way where you clearly have 48 and 7 more. Now here, I would take 2 ones. It doesn't matter which 2. I'm just going to go I'm going to go around this way. So 8 plus 2. So 8 and 2 are my 10. So now I have my new 10 plus the 4 I already had. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then I have 1, 2, 3. I forgot my other 10 here. Oh my goodness, Miss Corpel, keep track of your numbers. And then I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ones left over. Always good to check your work. See, I wouldn't have found that mistake if I hadn't done it another way and realized they don't look the same. Okay, another way. Let me show you vertically how to add those numbers together. So vertically, I would go 48 plus 7. So 8 plus 7, again, we've already done that part with the 1. So 8 plus 7 is 15. That's 1 10 and 5 ones. 1 10 plus 4 tens is going to be 5 tens, or 55. And if you'd like, you can always split this into tens and ones. Sorry, I got a little close to my original problem. But tens and ones. So 48 plus 7 is 55. Now, I'm going to give you an addition problem, and I'd like you to try it on your own. And I would like you to try whatever works for you. Okay, so let's do 44 plus 9. So it's kind of similar, some of the same, starting in the 40s and adding some ones. I want you to go ahead and go for this, see if you can figure it out. Have fun and happy learning.